All right, good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Lynch, is Mr. Brock still in custody of the Shawnee County Jail?
He is, Your Honor. I checked about 15 minutes ago and he's still listed on their inmate roster.
All right, we're in 2021 CR 14. And so, Mr. Richa, to catch you up, we learned yesterday over in Pratt, where Mr. Brock has another case, that he is in the Shawnee County Jail. I issued a bench warrant for Pratt yesterday, which will bring him at least to Central Kansas after he's released. What would be your recommendation on this case for Mr. Brock over in Kingman?
I think my recommendation would be for the same thing. I don't know do you recall what the bond was in the Pratt case?
I think the Pratt case was 10,000, maybe. I'm not.
Sure. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly be, because we're so close to having this case, we're talking about sentencing, and Mr. Lynch and I have talked about restitution and all of that. I wouldn't be asking for $10,000, but I think just a little bit of assurance that we can maybe resolve this case. So even maybe a $2,500 cash or surety bond on a bench warrant is what I'd be recommending.
Okay. And Mr. Lynch, what's your position?
Well, Your Honor, Mr. Brock did not appear last week, and I think the court was fairly clear at that time that if he didn't appear last week, he'd be issuing a bench warrant this week. So I understand Mr. Rich's request and the court's position at this point.
All right, and I'm going to grant the state's request. I'm going to issue a bench warrant for Mr. Brock in the amount of $2,500 cash or surety. And between that and the bench warrant and Pratt, we'll at least be able to keep track of him and get this case resolved. I mean, we're down to sentencing on this one. So.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Lynch, anything further from you?
No, Your Honor, I think that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Rich, anything further on Mr. Brock's case from the state?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lynch, and we will see you once we get Mr. Brock back.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Slinkard.
Unmute. There we go. Good afternoon, Judge.
And are you here for Mr. Woods? Who is, wait a minute, no, you're not here for, you're here with.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's in the waiting room. Didn't see him pop in.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this is case number 2021 CR 122, State of Kansas versus Daniel Woods. Mr. Rich is here for the state. Mr. Slinkard here with Mr. Woods, who is appears via Zoom. So, Mr. Slinkard, where are we with this case?
Your Honor, the state's provided me with the police reports and the videos as they exist. I've spoken to Mr. Woods in person. What we would like to do is apply for diversion. Mr. Rich is going to send me the application, and I will promptly get that to Mr. Woods to complete. So we would like to request a continuance for some time to allow us to work on those matters.
Would September 2nd give you enough time?
Yes,
We Yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. I wouldn't be opposed to even going out just a little bit further since we're talking a potential DUI diversion.
How about you all the way to the 30th or the 16th, or what works for you, Mr. Slinkard?
Any of those dates work, Judge.
Why don't we go close to 60 days out? Why don't we go to September 30th, and that will give everybody plenty of time to get this, and we'll do a diversion or appear on that day at 1:30.
That works, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And then Mr. Woods, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And I believe that's all you have today with us, Mr. Slinkard.
That's correct, Your Honor. Everyone have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, and then in the courtroom today, I can find the right page. With Mr. Talbott. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me get your case called up here because somehow the window closed on me. And you're Braden Talbott.
Yes.
And Mr. Talbott, you're here today to make a first appearance. You were given a traffic citation in 2021 TR 479 on July 11th for looks like not having the proper driver's permit. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
And and Mr. Rich, I was looking up 08239A. Is this a misdemeanor?
It is a misdemeanor. It's a traffic misdemeanor.
Oh, okay. With the same as a Class C?
It should be.
Okay. Mr. Talbot, so this is a traffic misdemeanor, and it's punishable by up to 30 days in the county jail and a fine of up to $500. You understand what you've been charged with, the possible penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this is only an allegation. You have the right to have a trial on this matter where the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did indeed commit this offense. And you have since you're facing possible jail time, you have the right to have legal counsel. And if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what we're here today is to figure out how you'd like to proceed on this matter. If you want to discuss this with legal counsel, I would continue this. If you want a chance to talk to the county attorney's office about a possible resolution, or I could also continue it for a couple of weeks to allow you to do that. Or if you want the court to appoint you an attorney, we could take that up today. Do you have any idea how you want to proceed?
No, I don't.
All right. And Mr. Rich, is this also qualify for a diversion?
Yeah, that's one option. And I believe Mr. Talbot should still be a juvenile as well. So that factors into the possible penalties as well. But yes, we've granted diversions on these type of cases previously.
Okay. And Mr. Talbot, neither I or any of the court officers or Mr. Rich can give you legal advice and tell you what to do on this. But I tell you what I will do. I'm going to continue this for 2 weeks until August 19th. at 1:30 p.m. And that'll give you a couple of weeks. You can go by the county attorney's office and you can check on the diversion program they have. You can seek legal advice from an attorney in that time. And then if you go ahead and decide to go the diversion route, and the county attorney's office could also tell you what they would do if you decided to enter a plea other than not guilty on this, like either plead guilty to it or no contest, and they could tell you what the results of that would be. So the next step in this is for you to either enter diversion or enter a plea, and you can enter a plea of not guilty and we'll proceed to trial, or guilty or no contest, but you need to be informed of the consequences of that. If you decide to apply for a diversion and pay the fees and get all that signed up within the next 2 weeks, you do not have to come back to court. Otherwise, come back on August 19th at 1:30 and we'll see how you want to proceed, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have any other questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, Mr. Rich, anything further the state needs from Mr. Talbot?
No, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much, and we may see you in a couple of weeks unless you decide to go the diversion route.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
and otherwise, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For you, so if you'll just go into the court and into the office in there, you can pick up your copy of the paperwork. And Mr. Richa has a card in there too, so make sure you pick one of those out.
Did they have Isaiah Bramwell's case?
Not yet. Or were you just here to listen to the case?
Yeah, I'm going to rock.
Oh,
Okay, now, next, let's see, who else? Do we have somebody else in the courtroom? I went ahead and muted the courtroom.
I think there's an individual observing, but I don't think there's an actual defendant.
he's one of the victims in Mr. Bramwell's cases, Judge. He was just here to see what was going on with the cases.
Okay, okay, well, thank you. And very good. Next, we have Mr. Battles in the waiting room from this morning. He had called, he had come in late and called, and so I don't know whether you talked to your office or not.
He called my office and I instructed him to call in this afternoon or come in this afternoon so we could try to resolve everything.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Battle. Can you hear us? You can unmute. So, Mr. Battle, you had called after your hearing this morning, and apparently you talked to the county attorney's office. So we have a, and Mr. Richard will correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm doing this off the top of my head, but we have a cash bond for you, which would take care of your, I believe it would take care of your fines and fees, but we need your permission to apply that cash bond to take care of those fines and fees, and then it's my understanding that your case would be taken care of. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Yes, I was actually going to ask you if you could apply that to the case.
Okay, yeah, we just need your, we need you to come, because we need your permission to do that.
Right.
You can't just take your money. And
Right.
so,
Right. So like I said, I bonded up for the $320. That's what you're talking about?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
And Mr. Richard, that would take care of Mr. Battle's obligation in Kingman County.
I mean, I haven't looked at his balance, but I know we specifically make those cash bonds to do that. So assuming it would, then yes, then we terminate the case.
Okay. Mr. Battle, you've given us permission to do that, so I'm going to order that, and we will make sure you get the proper paperwork.
Okay, so what do I do from that point? Would I have another court date then? Or?
Done.
No, you'll be done, and we'll just send you the proper paperwork, so you'll have that for your records.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye. I'm trying to figure out how to exit out of here.
All right. There should be, and you meant there should be like 3 dots on
At the
your
bottom.
Yeah, if you click on that, there should be a button that says leave.
I clicked on it. And it shows 4 different screens.
If you don't mind, I can help you out,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and I can end it for you. So we'll do that. Thanks, Mr. Battle.
We've been doing Zoom constantly for about a year now, and I still don't understand all of it, so I'm not going to give anybody grief.
No. Okay, so next we have Mr. Bramwell and his 4 cases. Good afternoon, Mr. Bramwell. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and we can hear you. You've got 4 cases with us, and the last time we left, you were still trying to hire an attorney. Where are we on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Our schedules haven't collided very well, and neither has transportation. But I mailed a money order yesterday to Crystal, and I have talked to her today, and so she should receive it by tomorrow or Saturday. So by the next time you see me, there should be no holdups on my end.
All right. Mr. Ritchie, have you heard from Ms. Creer?
I have not, Judge. I think we need to move on. I think we need to do something to move this case forward. This has been the same story for several times now. We have made no progress on these cases while we're waiting for this. Whether that's appointing an attorney in the meantime or what, I don't know, but we need to start moving forward on the case. I don't see how we haven't.
I agree that we need to do this. So I tell you what, Mr. Bramwell, and I know this is going to frustrate Mr. Richard just a little bit, but I'm going to continue this for 1 more week. If your attorney has not put in an appearance, a notice of appearance by next Thursday at 1:30, then we're going to have to find another way to move forward this case. I may appoint an attorney, or we could schedule this for a preliminary hearing. I mean, there's several ways, but you need to be prepared to move forward next Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you need to figure out whatever transportation you need to figure out. You need to figure out your schedule. I mean, you're facing some pretty serious charges here, so you need to make that a priority, because I'm pretty much finished giving continuances without legal counsel.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so you have any questions on this?
No, sir.
All right. So we will, I'll continue this 1 more time to August 12th at 1:30, and plan on being here with an attorney or a plan B.
All right.
All right. Mr. Rich, anything from the state on Mr. Bramwell?
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Amazing. Okay, now, can you tell me if a juvenile had a court date? It's part of the ring, his ring.
They're going to be talking for a while.
Okay. Okay. And that is everybody who's here, but we have several first appearances who we don't have, including, so let's start with Ms. Myers on 2021 TR 418.
So, Judge, this appears to be a trooper-issued ticket. So she would have physically received the ticket telling her she needs to appear on this date.
Yeah.
She lives in California. So, I mean, we have the ability to appear by Zoom, so I would guess there's not really a good excuse not to appear. But historically, of course, people live in California probably aren't going to appear in court in Kingman. So, I'm not sure what the best route to go is. I'm guessing this is another one of those situations where issuing a 30-day letter doesn't actually help with the suspension because there's a misdemeanor, and I don't believe that California has a compact with the state of Kansas. So I could be wrong on that. I'm sure Ms. Jackson could tell us better than I. The other option I could foresee is issuing a bench warrant, even if it's an OR bench warrant, just to continue to put the case on somewhere so that we can do something with it if it should ever arise again.
Or we could also try a show cause, which would leave her up for more penalties on a contempt. Why don't we try that and set and go out 60 days and set a show cause date for October 7th at 1:30, and we'll send her the Zoom information and see if we can't get her attention.
Okay.
And Ms. Darnell, I believe, now has a template for those show causes that we can do and see what happens.
All right.
And you want to do the same thing with Mr. Poley? Popel.
Oh, so we actually have had contact from him, and we're working on, it appears to be a diversion to resolve the case. So I'm just going to ask for a 2-week continuance on that matter, and then hopefully we'll be good on that.
Okay, well, great. And thanks to Mr. Popel. Thanks to Mr. Popel for, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, for
I don't know.
taking care of that. So we'll continue this for a diversion or appear on August 19th at 1:30. 2021 TR 420. And then Hugo Tampia.
That case is that would be the same situation as Ms. Myers. He lives in Arizona. He has a Mexico driver's license. Yeah, I mean, you could try the show cause on that one if you wished.
Let's do that, and also for that October 1st day. So we'll do a show cause and set a hearing for October 1st at 1:30.
Judge, did you mean October the 7th?
Did I look at that wrong? It looked,
The other one was October the 7th?
yeah, October
That's
7th.
true.
Sorry, October 1st is a Friday. When I just glanced at the calendar again, that 7 looked almost like a 1, so. Very good. Thank you, Ms. Darnell. And I believe that takes care of us.
That's all I'm seeing.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Richa. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.